Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Jumblhoj CafeTalk. How y'all doing this fine day today?
Wait, why'd you say it like that? Why didn't you just say Cafe Talk?
Cause I want to introduce our that we're Jumblhoj. You know, we gotta let the people know that our main priority is being Jumblhoj.
Well, what if I had plans in the future to break Cafe Talk off from the channel because Cafe Talk was just doing so well
then
with the support of our viewers and listeners? Thank you all.
Well, guess what? You can't separate this episode now because I said Jumblhoj in your face, Joe.
Maybe the next episode.
What if my devious plan was to always keep Cafe Talk here, you know, and then always say Jumblhoj in the beginning? Hey, what's up, everybody? Thank you for joining us once more. As you heard, Jolene is here with me as always. How you doing, Jolene?
I'm doing pretty good, Victor. How are you? I see you got a fresh new haircut.
Yeah, I'm looking pretty fresh today. You know, I gotta be prepared for whatever comes my way. You know, I'll be on my way. I'll be like Drifter, Bruce Wayne not Bruce Wayne. Fucking
Bruce Wayne.
Damn it.
Bruce Willis?
Bruce Banner.
Oh.
You know, like in the old Hulk movie where he was like leaving in the journey. That's what I was trying to go for, but then I completely butchered it. So
I see.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that.
That's fine.
But you know, we're having a beautiful day right here in Southern California, LA. You know, the wind is blowing. It's nice and cool. The sun is out, so it's nice and warm. It's a great day to be outside. But you guys are all here inside listening to us. So how do you feel about that?
You know that they could be listening to us on the bus or on the train.
On the road again.
Yeah, on the road again.
Yeah, that's true. You know? That's true. I'm sorry about that. You know, I guess I just jumped to conclusions there. But that's what I do. That's what we do, you know, because this is our channel. We're theorizing about everything here.
Anyways, so Victor, what do we have planned for the audience today?
Oh yeah, just thanks for just blowing me out of the water right there, Jolene. Yeah. I don't know what do we got planned today, Jolene?
Well, I don't know. Before the episode started, we were talking about weddings. Because you gotta go to a wedding.
Yeah, that's actually one of my reasons why I went to go get a haircut today. My cousin's wedding is coming up this Saturday. Sadly, as the loner I am, I have no date for that wedding. So, right here in public, in front of everybody, would you like to go with me, Jolene? Would you like to be my Saturday? My plus one.
Saturday?
Yeah.
I gotta go to church.
Jolene, but this is about life and death.
I'm supposed to.
This is about eternal bonding of a beautiful couple.
Why don't you tell Rocio?
But Jolene, you're my first.
Maybe for the podcast, but not like that, bro.
But Jolene, are you rejecting me in front of everybody like that?
Yeah.
You just got really?
I'm sorry. Why don't you bring Tiffany?
Fine, I'll ask somebody else.
Tiffany, if you're listening, you should text Victor.
I just gotta. Yeah, I'm so sad now. She's ruined my day.
Alright, guys. I guess we gotta end the podcast there. Victor's too sad to do it.
Thank you for joining us.
Alright, roll the credits.
Alright, bye, everybody. Okay, so what are we going to talk about today, Joe?
No, we're going to talk about weddings.
Weddings, okay. So, speaking of weddings, what's your position on weddings? What do you think about weddings, Joe? I mean, from a guy that, you know... Well, have you been to weddings before? That's my question.
Yeah, I've been to weddings.
Yeah?
I was about to say,
my first wedding.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I was going to say, you don't have to sugarcoat it for the audience. You could just say it from a guy who's never had a girlfriend or been in a relationship.
That wasn't actually on my mind at all to say.
No, I'm a strong, independent man. I don't need no woman.
You got your own business going on.
I got my dog.
Yeah, exactly. You got love all around.
Ollie's enough, man. He's too much attention.
Yeah, for real. He's like a baby.
You saw him at the dog park.
Oh, he does. Oh, but he was so nice. He was a good boy that day. He actually played really well with the dogs.
Until that other dog came in and
he went
pushed
crazy
his
about
excitement level up to the roof.
Oh, true. But that was because the other dog was trying to be dominant on him. So he was like, no. I said no. But that was my question, actually, because I know you've been to other weddings before, and this is actually my very first one. I've never experienced it before.
I mean, obviously when two people love each other very much, regardless of race,
the future,
race, creed, gender, whatever. When two people love each other and they want to
Oh, you mean besides race and sexuality and stuff like that?
Yeah.
Okay, I get
Besides
you.
all that.
Yeah.
when it comes down to it, like, sure, weddings are fine. If you want to get married, go ahead. I'll support you guys, or anybody who wants to get married.
Yeah. All right, so we're back, guys. Sorry about that. I had to go.
We just had to get the door.
I had to terminate the noise that was happening.
Yeah.
To activate my ninja skills and be like, what?
Yeah. There was a nice breeze coming in, but we're on a busy road here at the cafe.
Yeah, we are.
So there's a lot of cars passing by and people walking in and out.
And rather than killing like all the people out there, I had to just kill the silence. I mean the noise. My bad.
Anyways, so yeah, weddings are fine. I know some people. There's like a great debate about it because weddings are supposed to be like a religious thing where you're like joining two souls in the eyes of God or whatever.
Yeah.
But I mean, those like the perception of it has changed.
Yeah.
Like weddings are
more than that.
Yeah, weddings are more just for like people who just like really love each other and want to just be there for each other.
Yeah, exactly. I was gonna say it's because I believe weddings people have realized that throughout the generations. Before, when people used to get married because of only religion, like no other reason but religion, they were realizing that some of them weren't happy because of it. But because you were already married under the eyes of God, you couldn't get out of it. Like it was forceful. So even if you were very unhappy, you had to stay in it. And now people are realizing that, that shouldn't be a big factor.
Also, like before we move any further, we should make a distinction that like we're talking about weddings as in the ceremony of it.
Yeah.
When someone's just getting married, they can either have the ceremony or they could just get married by law.
Yeah.
Where they just go and apply for like a wedding certificate or whatever.
Exactly.
But in our case, we're actually talking about like people who go through with the whole ceremony
and the process
and make an event and like that kind of stuff. Because you can get married in title and that could just be to help somebody out, or in some cases like two really good people who live together. I don't know, they don't want to pay that many taxes, so they get married.
No, we're talking about the process of like people that actually want to get married, that think about it, that actually like feel like this is the right step they should take together.
Yeah.
Not just like let's just do it. But yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. People have thought about it. Like I guess throughout the generations, we've realized that it should be more about love and trust and being together rather than just forcing yourself to do what society wants you to do, which is like make a family and be
I guess
together.
With that, what's your perception on like the wedding ceremony?
I think it's a beautiful process, honestly. Like I said, I've never actually been to a wedding. This is gonna be my first one. Because it's a family wedding, I see it as something incredible, because it's just more of like I'm finally seeing my cousin be happy. Not that he wasn't, but it's just like it shows that my cousin loved this woman so much that he wanted to share his whole life with her, and that's what I find beautiful in it. The whole process of weddings, I find that beautiful too. Whether it's interracial or sexuality and all that stuff, I don't care. If two people want, like, they love each other so much that they want to be together, I find it beautiful. I find it really nice. Like go for it. And honestly, when it comes to me myself, that's actually a whole nother topic. Like I see it differently. I don't know. Like I don't know if I will ever get married. I don't know if I want to get married, but biologically, like in my DNA, I want to get married, but mentally, I don't know if I am ready to get married. You get me? Like I don't know if I'm mature enough to actually spend my entire life with someone.
But I mean, you're only like 22.
Exactly, yeah. So that's what I'm saying. I'm still young.
Yeah.
That's why I have this mentality. And on top of that, I haven't found anyone that, I'm not in love. You get me? So I don't see being married or having a wedding anytime soon because of those factors. But that may change entirely, once I actually meet someone or whatever, But for right now, it's just, I see weddings as a good thing. I see weddings as like, if you want to go through it, go for it.
Fair enough.
What's your position on that, Joey?
I mean, pretty similar. Pretty similar to yours. I feel like I'm still too young to get married.
Mm-hmm.
Haven't experienced life on my own because I still live with my parents and I'm still dependent on them.
Mm-hmm.
But later down the line, I want to get married. Of course, I have to first of all, I have to actually meet a girl, go on a date and ask her out and stuff. It's the whole shebang. Then I have to. We have to come to a mutual agreement that we actually want to get married. I don't know if that'll happen.
What if it's not a girl, children?
I'm pretty sure it's a girl. But yeah, I mean, later on down the road, I do want to get married.
Yeah.
If I meet the right girl and we come to the agreement that we both love each other enough to get married.
Yeah.
Start family.
What do you?
2.5 children, live by the seaside.
What do you think of actually switching a little topic right now? What do you think of those people that don't want to get married? Like, they love each other enough, just like a married couple, they love each other and they want to spend the rest of their life together, but they think marriage is, not a process that they want to go through. They see it as meaningless.
I mean, that's fine. That's their opinion. What do you think of that? That's their opinion.
Yeah.
It doesn't degrade my opinion of, marriage being something beautiful and something that I want to go through. It doesn't
do you see them as, less of a couple?
No.
Okay. No, that's just a question. I'm just saying. I'm not. I'm not, I agree. I don't see it as any different, but it's just a question.
I mean, to some people, it might seem like people who don't want to get married or kind of shun at the idea of marriage.
It's like blasphemy or something like
that. Some might see them as childish or they're not ready to commit or anything. But it's your life. You can do whatever you want. Your opinion on the matter isn't going to change my opinion on it.
Yeah.
So, to each his own.
It doesn't affect you, so you don't see why you should bother getting into it all.
Exactly. Though, on the actual marriage front, you know how, they say that, most girls, when they're young, imagine their marriage day and they know all the details about it.
Yeah.
They have, the whole place imagined up in their mind and they know every single detail down to, what color they want the table spread and the napkins.
They pretty much dream about their wedding day,
Yeah, the only perception that I have of my marriage day is kind of the general vicinity where I want it. I want it to be more of a wilderness thing where we're not in the city or we're not by some waterfall or so. It'll be cool if it's in an old barn next to a lake or something, something like that where it's a little rustic. And the kind of car that we'll drive.
Ooh,
definitely
what kind of car are you gonna drive?
I would definitely choose something like a '64 Lincoln
to drive off into the sunset type of stuff.
Fix it up all by myself, paint it, keep it a total secret. And when the day comes, it just rolls up, and she's like, "Where did this car come from?" And I was like, "I've been building this for months."
Damn,
you don't know.
That's beautiful.
That's the only part that I actually really care about.
Yeah, I get
and I got that from Edward because Edward was talking about it and he said either he wants to fix up his Maverick for that day, or he wants to get a really old 40s or 30s car,
to drive off in it. Not bad. That's a good idea. Actually, thinking about that, I never really thought of my wedding day. I never really thought of any details of that stuff. I've always just assumed if any girl really just wants to marry me, then I don't care what it is. I'll let her do whatever she wants. I'll give her anything she wants. Because me, I really don't have a preference. Even if it's a small, those Las Vegas chapels, wedding chapels.
Oh yeah.
Even if it's something that small, I would not care. But that doesn't mean I want that. It just means that as long as I find someone that I want to spend the rest of my life, as long as she wants to do the same, then it doesn't really matter to me. So that's pretty cool. That's actually a good idea. I might get some inspiration later down the line from you guys.
She has her thing that she wants to focus on
at
the wedding, and I have my thing that I want to focus on at the wedding.
Yeah, I mean that's the best part because it's yours is not as big, so it won't interfere with her stuff.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Yeah. Not bad. Good idea, Dylan. I like that idea.
A little segue leading up to this. One of our friends, Armando, that we've known.
Oh, yeah.
I've known him since we were in 5th grade, and I don't know how far you guys go back.
Technically, we've also known each other since elementary. We talked on the playground, but we didn't know each other.
Why is my shirt so linty?
I don't know.
Little things on it.
Maybe
it's from my car.
Maybe your beard is holding some secrets that even you yourself don't know.
There's too much dust and lint trapped in my beard.
But yeah, growing up with Armando, we only started talking in middle school because that's when we started having classes together.
Yeah.
But in elementary, how everybody had their own separate classes, so we didn't really know much many people outside of that class.
Mm-hmm.
That's how it was. We would play during recess, and we would just call him like, "Oh, look, it's that kid over there," or like, "Yeah, I just played handball with that kid," or whatever.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I didn't know it was actually Armando until middle school.
Oh, okay. But yeah, Armando's.
Yeah.
Armando's one of the few friends that we have that's actually going through like the marriage process at such a young age.
Yeah.
Because currently he's engaged to his girlfriend, and we're happy for him. You know, he can do whatever he wants. It's his life.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, we gave him our 2 cents on the matter, but you know, he's doing what he wants.
Like our 2 cents are just basically like, you know, you're still a little young. Like, you sure you want like think this through before you finalize everything. You know, just think about everything. You know, don't just rush into it. That was our 2 cents. But in the end, it really is his life.
He asked her to like marry him when a year after we graduated high school, and to some people that's normal. That's fine.
Yeah. Well, that was why we actually.
Yeah, that's why. To some people it's fine, but to us, at least like in my case, I felt he was just way too young. Like, he hadn't experienced what the world actually is yet.
And another thing was that 1 year after high school was actually just a year he's been with her. Like, he asked her, that too. Like, they got engaged a year after they were together. So that's why we were like, you sure, you know, just think it through. We were hesitant. Mm-hmm. But, you know, it's always different, because when you're in love, you feel like you're ready, you know, and at the same time, people that are not in love cannot actually, you know what it's like, you know, in the process or in the middle of it all. So, you know, even though people are telling you not to do it, it's your life at the end. You know, you're the only one that knows how it feels and if you're ready. So that's why we're telling him, like, just make sure you have the life to support each other. Mm-hmm. You don't want to end up in the streets. Like, you'll be married and together, but you'll be living on a cardboard box. So that's what we don't want.
The reason why I brought it up is just, when do you think is a good time
to get
married, Victor? Or like, when do you imagine yourself getting, if you had to get? I don't know. Never mind. It's hard to explain, because you already said like you don't really imagine yourself getting married unless you meet like the right girl.
No, I get you. It's like well, when do you think it's a good time to ask someone to marry you? Is that your question? Like okay, when do you feel comfortable?
Yeah, when is a good time to ask somebody to marry you, and then at what age? Because you could be together for 4 years, but like I don't think people who are 18
should get married. They're not, like, too early.
Yeah, they're not like financially stable. They're not really adults yet.
Yeah.
But they were together all of high school, so
I personally I understand your question. I personally believe that once you're the age of like 25, I feel like even if you meet a girl and then a year later you want to marry her, that's just fine. You know what I mean? Because I feel like once you at the age of 25, especially like how things are for us right now with our generation, how everything's being like inflated and it's really hard to find a job, and houses are just so pricey that you're pretty much going to be paying it for the rest of your life, that sort of stuff. At the age of 25, I feel like you should already have like at least a career in mind and be working towards it. You know what I mean? So that way by the time you do get married, you do have some stable income coming in. And I feel like 25 is just a perfect age for you to just be like, do whatever you want. You know what I mean? If someone like me, like age 20 or 21, says they want like to get married, that's when I say like only if you're sure. You know, don't rush into anything. You know, think about it. Like you said, you know, we're still trying to get a job. We're still in school. You know, trying to get a career. So it's like rushing into something that is so unsure. Is such a big step in life. That's something that you should really think it through entirely. As for me, myself, I believe that this is just me going off from like previous experiences. I would need at least 3 years with that person to know if I want to marry them. You know, like three years and up, that's when I would ask them to marry me. Like 5 years would be perfect. Like maybe even a little earlier. That's when I personally would ask the girl to marry me. But that's only because like I need so much time to make sure that I want to spend the rest of my life with this girl. You know, because it's like the same things
like in 3 years, a lot can happen.
Exactly.
You could go through a bunch of fights, or things could be great. You can like move in together. Yeah. And you just
because it's like stuff that I didn't like a year ago, I like now. You know what I mean? Or stuff that I liked a year ago, I don't like now. You know what I mean? It's like a year ago, I wasn't such a big car guy as I am now. because you guys helped me like introduce me into that stuff. You know what I mean?
Okay, yeah.
So it's like I need a solid 3 years at least to know that this is the person that I could tolerate. This is the person that will tolerate me for the rest of our lives. You know, get me? So it's like it's a huge step. It's a huge step in everybody's lives.
3 years ago, I wasn't the loner I am now. No,
I thought you were gonna take the other route. Like I was a much like quieter person, but back then.
No, I'm just kidding. Yeah.
3 years ago, I didn't have this crippling depression that I do now.
Exactly. Yeah, that sounds pretty good. In my case, I think I'd need about like 4 years.
4 years?
4 years seems good.
Yeah.
If you're able to be with somebody for 4 years, then yeah, I mean, you can be with them the rest of your life.
True.
And then, in terms of an age that I would want to get married at, I don't know why, but I feel like I'd want to get married at a later age.
Yeah, like what?
Like 25 still seems too
a little
young.
early.
Yeah, probably like 27.
Oh, okay, not
27 or 20. But then again, on my mom's side,
yeah,
the men have a tendency to get married later.
Like way later.
Yeah,
like 30s or something like that. Oh, okay, I get you.
So I don't know if I just take from my mom's side on that issue, but like my parents, they got married when they were 22 or 23, something like that.
Yeah. Like honestly, like in my opinion, I feel moving in together is a step you should take before getting married. You know what I mean? That's just like in my mind. So that way, if you're able to like live, like have at least a year of living with each other before you decide that you want to get married. So that way, you know that's
pretty good.
You know that person's mannerisms, you know that person's like lifestyle, and then you guys build a lifestyle together.
So speaking of that,
you want to keep it.
Speaking of that, the most recent episode of Bob's Burgers deals with a little bit of that.
It does?
Yeah,
I've actually been watching Bob's Burgers, man. I've actually been streaming it.
Bob and Linda are like blaming each other for them keeping each other up with their snoring.
Oh, really?
So they decide to record each other at night.
It turns out it's not neither of them.
They can't tell the difference because both of them are snoring. And it gets to the point where like they snore extremely loud, and then they even start like passing gas and stuff. And they both agree like we're just disgusting people.
And that's why they're
but they're discussing together, and then they try to fall back asleep and they can't because none of them are snoring. They just got so used to each other snoring.
Oh, so they need the snoring to actually fall asleep. To be
because they're like each other's white noise.
Yeah, exactly.
That's pretty good marriage right there.
It really is.
That's pretty good marriage right there.
No, like actually, the more I see Bob's Burgers, like now that I've actually been watching it, the more you realize that even though they're horrible people, they're horrible together.
I wouldn't say they're horrible.
Horrible, not in the sense of like they're despicable. They're just like disgusting and evil. No, not like that. Horrible people. Horrible in the sense of like they're awkward. They're weird. That type of horrible. You know what I mean? I just use horrible as an extreme term, because it's like I grouped all their bad traits together to make that one word.
I
horrible.
can see that.
But you know that's the thing. Like they found their soulmate. You know, they found that perfect person that like would back each other up.
Yeah, that's the big thing about Bob's Burgers, that they're just like a family.
Yeah, exactly.
And no matter what happens, they just stick together like a family.
My favorite character from that so far has been what's her name?
Louise,
the bunny haired girl, the bunny hat girl. I love her so much. She's so cool. She's funny. She's hilarious. She makes every episode.
I still just like Bob.
Bob is
classic. Great. Yeah, because the episode that always gets me is the Thanksgiving episode
where he goes crazy with the turkey.
Yeah, where he's like trying to salt the turkey and make it perfect, but it always ends up in the toilet.
Yeah.
So he goes to the grocery store and sees like the butcher guy, and it gets to the point.
I don't think I saw that one.
Oh, whatever. The scene is like, every time he goes and sees the butcher is like, "Oh, hey, you're back for another turkey." And he's just like, "Yeah," and then the butcher just thinks that Bob is like messing up all the turkeys so they can talk.
Oh,
so
like he wants a friend.
Exactly. No, so it gets to the point where the butcher is just like, "Man, you know, things aren't going so good with Reggie anymore," and he's just like, "So we're gonna hook up? We're doing this?" And then Bob is just like, "I'm married." And, like, if I wasn't married, you're just out of my league. I was just like, Bob is great.
Oh yeah, just like that
Bob.
episode where they're on the cruise and the chef of the cruise is like, kiss me, Bob, and he's like, what? No, and then like they lock him in the freezer and Bob is like, okay, I'll kiss you. We can do other stuff too. Just let me out. Bob is funny.
Bob is the best.
Yeah, that show grows on you. You actually have to watch it for a good while.
Yeah, that's what they say.
Because before I didn't understand it.
You have to get through like 2 seasons, and then the show starts making sense.
Yeah, big time. Because I only watched 1 season. Like when you started watching it, I had only had 1 season under my belt, and I was like, I don't know, man. This show is like awkward and uncomfortable. I don't really get it. I don't see the point of it. And then now that I'm seeing more and more of it, you just like the family itself grows on you. And
yeah, definitely.
You just want to see more of their shenanigans.
Definitely, I agree.
Yeah.
I guess to wrap up this podcast, it's gonna be kind of a short one this week.
Yeah.
Have you heard any news or stories you want to talk about? A little bit.
What was it? On the new movie that's coming out, the Infinity War.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's coming here really soon. But hold on. But like what I've heard from that movie is just that one thing that I saw recently, probably like a lot of people out there already heard this news. But it's new to me. All the actors didn't receive their scripts, or at least not their complete scripts, until the filming of the movie.
Really?
Yeah, like especially like Tom Hiddleston, I think that's his name, the guy that plays Spider-Man. Is it Tom Hiddleston or no? Not Tom Hiddleston.
Isn't Tom Hiddleston Loki?
Tom Hiddleston's Loki. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I was like, that name rings a bell.
Is it Andrew Garfield?
Andrew Garfield. Yeah. I think that's the guy that plays the new Spider-Man in Spider-Man
so.
Homecoming.
I don't know. There's been so many Spider-Mans recently.
Either way, the pretty much the kid, because he's like the youngest one in the whole set.
Yeah.
The kid that plays Spider-Man.
Spoopy Man.
Apparently, he released a lot of information for Spider-Man Homecoming to the point where like Marvel Studios was like, no, you blabbed on too much. Like you released way too much information that we didn't want to release for the movie, and pretty much like spoiled it for a bunch of people that actually saw your interview. So this time they made sure that he didn't get any script whatsoever until the filming of the movie.
Oh, it's Tom Holland.
Tom Holland.
Tom Holland.
See, so I was right about Tom. I just don't remember the last name. But either way, like
Andrew Garfield was the previous Spider-Man, or the Amazing Spider-Man.
The Amazing Spider-Man. But yeah, what I heard was nobody knew anything about the movie whatsoever. Like, they didn't know what was going to happen, who was going to die, what's going to happen at all until the movie started. So every interview leading up to the filming of that movie, where everybody was trying to figure out what the premise was going to be about or what Thanos was going to do, nobody knew. Everybody was like in the blank, and it made for such great interviews. Or like, well, what do we do now?
That's pretty good.
It's like we're hoping for some information, but that's what I like about it. You know, now people were so hyped up for this movie, and this movie was like 10 years in the making, that hopefully no spoilers come out, just so that you could fully enjoy the process of it all. But I still feel like, personally, there's going to be plenty of guys or girls out there that just don't like the movie at all whatsoever. They're going to have like so many criticisms about it and hyped itself up so much without actually
because it's been hyped since like the first Avengers came out.
Exactly. So it's like people's expectations are so high at this point where it's like you're not going to please everybody. So just enjoy it.
It's pretty
for
much
the movie
what happened
with
like was it Star Wars 8?
Yeah, that's exactly what happened. And people say it's like the worst one so far right now.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened with that movie.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't know, in my perspective and the way I'm going to go see that movie is I'm actually not going to have any expectations for it. The only expectation that I did have for it was I want to see somebody die. Like somebody big, like somebody from the Avengers or somebody like from the MCU continuity. I want to see them die. That's the only expectation I have. If nobody dies, that's the only time I'm going to be disappointed. Other than that, I'm just going to appreciate it for the movie that it is, that for this whole time that it's been building up to, and having all my favorite heroes in one scene. So that's what I'm going to be happy about.
Just like some speculation, or I kind of do want to see somebody die in the movie too.
Yeah.
I have a very strong feeling that it's going to be Bucky.
Yeah, why?
Just he's the most logical, because obviously, like, if Bucky dies, then you play the emotional card where like Captain America is gonna want to get revenge, or he gets pissed or something, and then when Captain America gets pissed, either Iron Man or Black Panther is gonna either like try to stop him, try to save him from his own anger, or aid him, in doing whatever, and then that's gonna It's just gonna do that.
That's pretty much like the ultimate button Thanos could push for Captain America.
Yeah, and basically like what was it? Civil War was started just because they wanted to put Bucky in jail or to kill Bucky.
Yeah, and pretty much almost broke. It pretty much did break up the Avengers.
Yeah,
themselves.
exactly. So Bucky is the most logical person to die.
That's
Next
true.
would probably be like Hawkeye or
Iron Man.
I was gonna say Black Widow, but
Well, I don't. Well, why Black Widow though?
I don't know.
Because I'm thinking Iron Man because of the same reason you were saying right now. Because he was gonna try and help Captain America, and in the process, Captain America's gonna like be blinded by rage or like sadness that he's not gonna notice like an attack coming, and then because Captain America was the only friend Iron Man had, he's gonna jump in the way of that attack to save him, and it's gonna kill him.
Yeah, okay,
like,
I can see that.
He's gonna sacrifice himself for like the only friend he truly thought.
I can see that. I don't know. I was thinking more in the lines of like the people who don't have like legit powers.
Oh, I see.
Are probably gonna be the next in line. So that's why Bucky's part of it.
Hawkeye,
yeah. Bucky's part of it, and then either like Hawkeye, Black Widow, or Ant-Man.
Yeah, I get you.
They seem like the next plausible to die, and then probably Iron Man is like one of the last people I would expect to die.
Well, I mean, I feel okay. So I don't know that's gonna be tricky because if Ant-Man dies, how are they gonna release the Ant-Man and Wasp movie? Unless that Ant-Man and Wasp movie is before the Infinity War, you know. So I don't know about that, but I understand what you're saying. It's really plausible. I see that. Oh, Iron Man. Robert Downey Jr. It's his 9th time playing Iron Man in this movie. Hey. So it's like just like Wolverine. Like his 9th time playing Wolverine was Logan. So that's why they were saying goodbye to him. People are speculating that because this is his 9th time playing Iron Man, that they're gonna kill him right here and just like end this contract.
Maybe,
but
I don't know.
But that's just me blindly saying this from like no research or anything. So don't quote me on that.
Yeah,
you know, I just believe like his contract could probably be still going on for 2 more movies, and I wouldn't know.
Fair enough.
So I'm just thinking it might.
Comment down below if you guys want us to start a whole like movie review segment or movie rumors and speculations.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we will gladly do much more research into this, so that way we could give you the up-to-date files.
Exactly. And then leading on to what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've heard of On My Block on Netflix.
On My Block?
Yeah, it's
I have not actually.
It's kind of like a soap opera, or it's just like a show. It's pretty similar.
Drama show?
Yeah, it's pretty similar to like The Get Down.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What is it about?
The whole premise of On My Block is basically like this group of friends. There's like 4 of them, 3 guys, 1 girl.
Yeah.
Grow up in South LA in imaginary Free Ridge County.
Free Ridge?
Or like the city of Free Ridge.
Yeah.
They didn't want to say like Compton or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. Like they don't want
to.
That's
basically
a real
where
location.
that's basically where it takes place. Like Compton, South Central, that kind of area.
I see.
It takes place with them transitioning from middle school to high school, and then when they're going into high school, there's some drama that goes on. Yeah. I don't want to spoil anything if you guys
someone
haven't
actually
seen
wants
it.
to see it, yeah.
Yeah, but that's basically it. You follow them dealing with all the drama and like drama with life, growing up in a bad neighborhood, and just transitioning from adolescence to young adults.
Oh, okay, I see. So it's just like a good slice of life show?
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Not bad. How far have you seen?
I finished it. It's only like 13 episodes.
Is it like an hour-long series, that type of stuff? Like hour episodes?
Yeah.
Not bad. I might check it out.
It's really good.
Does it have any like actors people know or anything
like that? Well...
Or is like all these like new budding actors that like...
They've been in other movies.
Yeah.
Like I know one of the main guys, he was in like in Logan.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Wow. Like one of the side characters? Like
yeah, something like that. He wasn't like a main. Well, actually, I haven't even seen Logan, so I can't say anything. No.
Dude, come on.
I haven't seen it. I want to.
Okay, so honestly, in my opinion on Logan, it's like it's a little overhyped. You know what I mean? Because people saying it's like such a great movie, the best movie ever out there when it came out. It's a great movie for Wolverine's run. You get me?
Mm-hmm.
Like it's a great movie for Hugh Jackman. It's inspirational. It's good action, that type of stuff. But if you're going on it from like a comic reader's perspective, it's really bad. It's horrible. Like it had nothing to do with like the comic itself. Like the only thing that it shared with the comic was probably like the time and how old everybody was. You
Fair
get me? In the comic, they had this awesome fight scene where the family of Hulk was fighting Old Man Wolverine. That's what I was really excited to see in the movie. And it turns out like you don't even mention pretty much anybody. But other than that, like that's what I'm saying. If you don't see it as a comic book movie and you see it more of like another Wolverine movie, it's really good.
Fair enough.
You know, so I recommend it. You should see it. You should really see it. It's one of those movies everybody got to watch at least once.
I mean, I've been meaning to. But yeah, On My Block on Netflix, really good show. I recommend it.
Is it supposed to be like My Friends Are On My Block, that type of stuff? Like, are they all raising up in the same city? Or just like, okay, I get you.
Yeah, the thing that gets me, that I really like, is that you become attached to their group of friends. Yeah. Because you either see a little bit of you in them, or they remind you of somebody you know in your group of friends. Okay,
that's cool. Nice. So you actually feel like you're part of the group itself.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like I don't really want to spoil anything, but
any little details that you could give.
But it's basically like there's a character named Ruby. Yeah. Or Ruben. Yeah. He's a guy. He's probably like one of the best characters, and he kind of resonates with me because there's this scene where he coerce is the wrong word. He's trying to court this girl.
Oh, okay.
Right? And the girl like doesn't really give him the time of day and stuff, but he just like goes over the top, and the girl finally just says like, why do you try so hard or whatever?
Like we barely even know each other.
Yeah, like his best line in the whole movie is just like, I just want to be good to you because I'm in it for the long run. And I'm like, dude, that was me in high school. Like I was trying to play that long goal game.
Yeah. And even though she didn't really like know him, he still wanted to go after her like that.
Pretty much.
Damn, that sounds like you.
I know exactly. That's and then like just because he's also like a very funny character. Yeah. Just because he's like over the top and stuff like that. I was just like, I see. That sounds interesting. Like I see a little bit of me in him. I see a little bit of you guys in him, and it's pretty good.
Definitely. Okay, that sounds like worth a shot. I'm down to check it out.
But stay tuned. In future episodes, I'll review a bunch of Netflix series.
Actually, like speaking of that, the way you described it, it reminded me, like, for some reason, Riverdale just came into my mind.
That's what I was telling Edward too. I didn't tell him it reminded me of Riverdale, but the drama between some of the characters, or the way that like 3 of the characters are set up, it really gives off like the whole Betty, Veronica, Archie love triangle.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it like really gives it off, and I'm just like, I don't know if they did it intentionally, like the creator or the director is a big Archie fan or something, or it's just Netflix's way of like subconsciously suggesting like, hey, go watch Riverdale.
If you like this, you also like this.
If you like Archie, you'll probably like Riverdale. Riverdale, another good series if you like drama. If you don't, probably stay away from it.
Yeah, because I mean, you're the one person that actually I could go to for like good drama series. Like apparently, Gossip Girl is a good one. Riverdale, fucking now on my blog. So yeah, you know,
The Get Down.
That one's actually really good. I never got into like season 2, but season 1 was great.
Season 1 was really good. Season 2, they lost a lot of funding, so they couldn't make it as great.
Yeah. Oh man, because I never got into. I saw like episode 1 of season 2, and I was like, I'll go back to this, and I never went back. So
another good series that's like totally away from drama. Was it Tasty Ugly or something like that? It's a cooking show. It's a cooking show where they do like really weird fusion food and stuff. Or it's hosted by David Chang.
Yeah, is it like bizarre foods, but like
a little bit.
It's like the premise of the show is, even though it looks ugly, it could still be delicious.
Yeah. Like the first episode has to deal with pizza, and they go back and forth between like the traditional margarita Italian pizza or whatever. Like it's just tomatoes and cheese and basil. And then it goes to the other extreme where you're in Japan and they have like a sushi pizza.
Yeah, okay, yeah. I haven't seen that show, but I have seen it on my like, if you like this, you'll watch this. Another good series. Yeah, I'm done to check that one out.
Come by our next podcast and I'll talk about more Netflix series.
Yeah, definitely. We'll leave that up to the next Cafe Talk, but as for now, thank you guys for joining us. Hopefully you like it. Leave a comment down below, letting us know what you think about marriages and what's your favorite show on Netflix. We could talk about it. Maybe check it out. If you like this podcast, give a thumbs up. It'll help us out a lot. And for anybody that's coming back, thank you for your support. We love y'all.
If you're new, don't forget to subscribe. Subscribing helps us out a bunch.
Yeah, don't miss out any of the future episodes that we might release.
And comment down below if you want us to talk about anything, or if you just want to say hi. We're friendly people. We don't bite.
Hard.
Okay. All right. With that, we'll see you guys next time. Bye, everybody.
Bye, guys. Stay beautiful.